Welcome to One Word a Day. I'm Sophie, your pilot into the universe of Chinese. Let's review what we covered this week. Some looks-alikes or sound-alikes. So we start with cai. It's left side, radical, sound like cai. So obviously, historically, scholars classify this cai as phonosemantic character. That's we have the shape, which defined by the three strokes here, that means pattern making, and the cai, that's a sound maker. Okay, but I have a different view that we don't just randomly select the sound to create a concept. We select a particular this shape to create a concept of colors because cai means selectively picking fruits from the trees. This selectiveness, this curation, paired with pattern making, that's like intentionally curated the rendering of the patterns in a set of harmonious colors. That's why it's not just because of a sound. They happen to carry over the sound to here, but it's the meaning. That there's a three-finger hand symbol on top of this canopy of the tree. This is canopy, the root, and the trunk of the tree. That ancient hunter-gatherer process of this gathering fruits is, inherently have to be super discerning and selective, that you have to pick the right kind of fruit that's edible for humans. Otherwise, you kill your clan, right? So this cai, this picking, paired with this pattern making together create the sense of coloring. Okay, and we can see contemporary Chinese, we flatten the canopy of a tree into a flat horizontal line, and this become the contemporary Chinese wood or tree symbol. And then the top of the three-finger hand symbol, which means it's not your hand. You're the observer of somebody else's hand picking on top of that tree. If it is your hand, the three-hand finger symbol reaching from the bottom of the screen, because Chinese is a first-person perspective language. At the bottom of the screen is closer to you. On top of the screen is away from you. So it's somebody else's hand picking. And the rest of it is pretty much preserved consistently from the 2,000 years ago's seal script capturing. Okay, cai, vegetable, we also have, well, the tonation of this changed. Instead of cai, which is the bottom part here, picking from the trees, when it paired with a grass symbol on top, so these two canopies, it's not canopies, it's the blades of grass, because it comes in cluster, meaning it's pretty spatially condensed than trees. Trees need to be more spreading out, right? And also it doesn't describe the root of the grass because it's not a big component for grasses than trees. Trees have to have big roots. So this grass symbol paired with this picking fruit becomes picking grass. And what is picked grass or edible grass? It's vegetables and pronounced as cai. So it's still kind of carry over the sound, just tonation changed. And we can see the grass symbol, it was this, right? And then we flatten this, it's hard, we flatten the little ball shape of blades and flatten them, become horizontal, connected horizontally. It's for ease of writing. And same as this canopy of the tree. So both of them are flattened. And then we have this three-finger a human hand, somebody else's hand on top of the tree, simplified in this with 4 strokes instead of writing it so complicated as like that. All right, so when we have cai paired with eyeball, that means you selectively decide what to pay attention to, where you place your eyeball at. And that's a Chinese, I would say, very insightful understanding of human attention mechanism. We don't treat all the stimuli equally. Some stands out and some, hit heavier, so to speak, on our own neurons and form stronger neural pathways. And so all that is our selective, picky eyeballing, and that becomes notice. And I want to point out, because you can see here, we have Cai plus the eyeball symbol, which I cropped from two different things, because Xu Shen 2,000 years ago dictionary didn't include this. So most likely it was a later creation within 2,000 years. And eyeball pretty much preserves, except the rectangularized corners of the eyeball. And then we have the simplified 3-finger hand symbol on the top and the flatten out of the canopy of the tree. Now, Cai, another same pronunciation, third tone, when it's picky plus the foot symbol or the foot below the kneecap, that symbolizing something related to walking, to movement. It's not standing still. If just without a kneecap, that means standing still, just your foot. But when it pairs with a kneecap, meaning your knee is going to swing around, that you're going to be in motion. So that's a walking symbol. And this, or anything related to your lower body motion, when we have that paired with selectively or picky footing, that becomes tread. And you notice this is two croppings. It's a later creation, combination of two characters put together to compositely means either tread or trample. Depends on the intention. If you carefully walk around, that's tread. If you violently walk around, that's trample. Okay, so same treatment of that. Now here, this one pronounced as shi, no longer cai. So there we know the left side looks different from the cai symbol, right? Here is 3 dots. Over here, the middle dot is blended into this vertical line. So this is essentially a look similar but totally different thing. Came from totally different origins. The cai is a 3-finger on top of a tree, right? Here is paw, animal paw print on the ground that looks like this. And we have 5-finger human hand with the middle finger pointed toward the right. And here is a similar pointed toward the right, middle finger of the animal. But it has to be looking different from a human hand, right? So essentially it is 5-finger paw, right? But with this crossing in the middle gives this paw a different texture of the animal's hand. And paw reading, pronounced as a bian, means discerning, because not only you see animal paws on the ground, this is about our processing of that message. That signal could mean life and death, especially if it's a wild beast paw. You need to read it correctly. So that bian is no longer picky, but it's discerning. It got higher adrenaline going there, right? And the right side is looking or observing of a crime scene. And here, this crime scene, well, made of 2 punishment. One is to remove somebody from hometown. That was considered a big punishment, like emotional, social punishment for somebody. Like almost like you were removed from your ecosystem. You're moved to some far away, probably even harsh weathered location. And that's one punishment. The second one at the bottom is puncturing something sharp under your skin level. That's a corporal punishment. Physical, social / emotional punishment. Two ways to punish people. And we use this punishment methods signify the crime itself, like what caused punishment. And we add eyeball on top of that crime, meaning checking out the crimes, meaning detecting what's going on societal level. So I guess this is ancient police work. And you have detecting on the right, you have discerning on the left, paw reading. Together it means release, because you have to untangle or untie some otherwise complicated. Say we are not experienced paw readers. So when you see an animal footprint, it's hard to tell, right? It takes quite some experience and training to be able to correctly discern and read that paw print. The right side too, like a layperson wouldn't be able to tell a crime or not crime. So all that untangle or sorting out of an otherwise messy situation is a Chinese way to say release, as if it's untie a knot or resolve a mystery. And we also use this character as explain, because explaining is to untangle the messiness. So 是 is this pronunciation, and we add this extension to make it a separate stroke instead of drawing a tilted toward the right middle finger line. We add this one for easier to write. And the right side is a complete swapping out of something way more simpler. And together it means release or explain. And this one, 西, means no. And we have the same 边 character, that's a paw reading. This is the same paw, except it's not on the left side, it's on the top, paired with heart symbol. So heart in Chinese symbolize both cognitive and emotional processing. And here, because you're looking at a paw print, so it's more analytical, right? I have to say, more analytical understanding of things. Therefore, together, it means no. And we have this same treatment of the paw, adding the stroke to make it a separate stroke on the top. And then we simplify the three tubes connecting to the pump imagery to these three dots. So altogether we have 菜, no, sorry, 彩, third tone, 菜. That's fallen tone, 彩, and 彩 again. So all these four came from the same family of this 彩, this picking. And then the right side, these two kind of look similar. And for me, a Chinese user, I seldom even look to the past of what it came from. And it kind of looks like this, but not like that. So if you swap out this, put it here, your Chinese teacher would grade you misspelling in Chinese. So apparently this carries some weight in how this is written. And this discerning of paw print paired with this detecting of crime becomes release, and this discerning with heart. So you know something by heart, know all the details. It also means extensive, means exhaustive. It means all. And that's a 西. So we have, again, 菜, 菜, 才, 才, 是, 西. You notice this too? No meaning connection. I mean, no sound collection at all. Only the meaning here carried over. And we have the way simplified Chinese now simplify things. So all this three finger hand symbol simplified into this four strokes, and all the trees canopies got flattened out, and we have this grass flattened out, and we have the paw print, add extension over there to make it a separate stroke. We simplified hard three long tubes with three dots, and then we totally swap out this I think it's called, wait, what is it called? E. Okay, sorry, I don't remember. The right side of this detection of crimes, that was not commonly used in our current language at all. But this is a complete swapping out, missing the eyeball, right? And this thing means hand symbol, and it doesn't make sense. It didn't stick with the original text, meaning the shape of the character at all. But this detection with the discerning of the paw print together make this pretty highbrow meaning of release, of letting go. So here we have lots of 菜 or 菜 and 是 and 西, from colors to know. And I pick this, I am the gate, to mean this, to point to this 菜 mostly, like where the gate of the information to our brain. So this selectiveness with eyeball, selective with foot, selectiveness with the grass, all this explainable, and selective color picking to make patterns, to make colors, all this are making sense together. So this type, not just a sound maker, it's definitely a meaning maker. And this one is looking similar, but a different thing, right? This paw reading thing. It's related to our understanding of the world paired with the heart, or detection of crimes that kind of extended into a release because we are solve a mystery. Here you go. Thank you for your time. See you another week.